on red, they had Ahri and they won both those games. The Ahri really did give them a lot of safety, but more importantly, it gave him a lot of playmaking because it allowed him to be proactive to find angles for himself. Yep. I think that was a key thing with this pick for them in the regular season as well, is that Bjergsen didn't have to be the follow-up. He could just start something, right? Like he could find that angle, find that charm. So that is going to be banned out. Nautilus is available though. Will TL continue to do that trade, or will they try to take the Leona side of it because Vulcan has been so good on the Leona? Jinx has the early pick, late game for Hansama. What will the next pick be? It will be Viego. So back to some of the earlier picks that we had seen with the Viego, with the Jinx. We know now that this can be flexed around. Impact could play it, Jojo could play it. That's got to be in the back of TL's mind, that little concern of where are things going to go. You have to pay more respect to the potential of flex now as well.
And that's one of those things, like I was talking about how last game strategy, no, you can't do that every game of a series. People are going to be expecting it now, but the flex power definitely is something that's got to be considered for every game after that. Aphelios locked in for Danny. If there was ever a time to lock in that champion after you just had a pop-off game on the Ezreal, I love the fact that they're letting him have this hyper carry potential here in game number 5 because he showed us he deserves that shot in game number 4.
Absolutely. I mean, EG may just be going for 5v5 scaling as well, right? You know, they could build very easily towards that. Ryze, obviously a little bit more of a side lane champ, but will TL match roles here? You know, will they try to go towards a support or mid, or are they going to go a little bit of a different direction? This is throwback to, I believe, the first game. Tahm Kench support coming in for a core to be able to protect that Jinx. It worked out very well for them in that game number 1. They were completely dominating. It was that Hail of Blades Ignite Tahm Kench, if you can remember all of those hours ago. So TL kind of throwing back towards that, but EG now have the potential to throw even more bans towards Bjergsen if they want. Of course, they are going to be the recipient of more jungle bans. As they have been, you know, kind of pushed down the tier list quite a lot here. Diana going to get banned out. Will they ban out the something like the Xin, or are they going to go towards, you know, even a Graves as potential banning that away from Impact and or Inspired? Will be interesting to see if TL kind of changes how they are seeing this jungle tier list.
Remember that the last time that Inspired had both Lee Sin and Diana banned away from him, he went to the Nocturne. And despite a good early game, it did not work out.
No.
So I'm curious how EG is going to adapt, what they're going to pick for him in the second half here.
And I actually really like the Ornn ban in this case because TL doesn't really have any primary engage. Yeah, theoretically, Tahm Kench can dive in, but it's yeah, and you Q-max first, your range is so low on it, it's very delayed, it's not that threatening, so I do think that they're going to want some sort of primary engage, and now it's going to have to come, you know, from top or mid, you know, and generally speaking, none of the mid laners in the meta are primary engage, so that kind of puts the onus on Bwipo to be that. With the Ornn banned out, will TL have another top lane pick that can be that facilitator, that can be that primary engage? Or are they just going to kind of give it up and say, all right, well, we're not going to play with that. We're going to play, you know, more of a low engage style, go back to something like the GP 5th. Will be interesting to see which pick they want to show here. I'm expecting it to be mid. Maybe something just scaling like the Orianna even. But, you know, with Victor banned out, with a lot of the picks that he has been showing banned out, Veigar would be interesting. Would match
you want to talk about scaling?
And also really, really strong, you know, having that cage against mid-range champions like the Ryze can be very, very difficult for Ryze to actually deal with this. Especially if you're going to go Predator. The ganks are actually pretty powerful. You call in Viego, you just Predator up, you put the cage around him. Basically, Ryze has the flash or he dies, right? You know, it can be very difficult to actually answer this. So now expected jungle pick here. But of course, they are going to be going, you know, both top and jungle. It's blind. Will it be the Renekton? Looks like it's going to be locked.
Am I allowed to say I hate this?
You are.
I hate this. It's, he's fallen so far from grace. The pick himself, Renekton. This champion does not inspire faith in me.
Well, maybe the 75% win rate on the pick for Impact this split would inspire a little bit more faith. 3-1 on the pick.
Baby, it's Nidalee for Inspired.
Return from the dead. We have not seen this pick in so long. This is the throwback, and now I like the Renekton a lot more because you've got to be pretty careful. Tank makes so much sense in this situation. If you go carry into Nidalee plus Renekton, you are asking to die. This is a lot of pressure onto Inspired. I just feel like Nidalee must create action for her team early on because the baseline that Viego is going to bring to these team fights is so much higher than what Nidalee really can bring. You've got to play with tempo. You've got to be taking away enemy camps, putting on pressure, but he has set up in 3 lanes. Point and click, CC, all around the board. Leona stun, Renekton stun, room prison. You can set up for those spears. So EG have drafted something that I think is pretty tough to execute for Inspired, but they've given them the tools to be able to pull it off. And if they can, it could look really, really good for them. But you look on TL's side, this is like ultimate front to back 5v5 safety with Tahm Kench, massive front line with the Sion, scaling as much as you could ever want with Veigar and Jinx.
The chants back and forth, the fandoms battling as the players are about to begin their final confrontation here today. The best of 5 going the full distance. Evil Geniuses or Team Liquid, only one can win. And man, the compositions for this one are gonna be fun.
Yeah, this is gonna be really, really interesting. And already seeing Ruby Crystal start here from Bwipo. I'm not gonna say we're gonna see it for sure or anything, but you know, a lot of times when people don't do D-Shield start, they look for some cheeky plays. You can even do execute plays to enemy buff and try to steal the one away. That is extremely high risk, so I doubt we will see it, but just interesting to see that adaptation, going for the extra potion, plus the Ruby Crystal start. You're just trying to rush towards maximum HP, look to survive. Sion does have a very good leash with the charged up Q here for Santorin. Nidalee going to be starting on bot side, clearing up towards top as expected. You've got to be clearing towards Renekton, see what you can do. So a lot of it is going to be about the setup there for impact. You know, can he really have that wave in a perfect spot to try to pull off some sort of a gank? Can they actually deny XP from Bwipo and then have Ryze move top and pull off a 3-man dive? Like, you need to do this kind of stuff to really put Sion into the dirt. Because Sion is a champion that just doesn't need a lot of gold to be functional, right?
No,
like,
he gets so much just from the Soul Furnace passive, stacking up all that health.
Yep.
Very scary very quickly.
It is absolutely. But nice ward there from TL, actually on Tribrush. It's kind of being blocked by Renekton, so they have eyes on impact. So, going to see that he's going around. We'll have full info on Santorin's clear, of course.
And those clears are mirrored too. Both of our junglers starting off on the red, not skipping their Krug camps, going for the full clears, and they'll end up on opposite sides of the map as we already get some violence in the 2v2 here bottom. Auto attacks being traded back and forth by all 4 players.
Worth noting, it is not Hail of Blades, it is Guardian, so more standard here for core, more defensive setup against the Aphelios and this Leona. So not feeling like they can really exploit that. You know, I think that was kind of a Yuumi adaptation.
Yeah, exactly.
That it's like Yuumi can't really scrap in the same way. Obviously, when you are attached, you are not able to get all those auto attacks out, so it can be a lot of value. We'll see how Bjergsen can hold on in this mid lane, as Jojo will have the push early for sure. Veigar needs some time, needs some levels before he can really start stacking up that AP effectively, getting enough damage to actually be able to kind of compete against the push. But this is what they got to do, right? You got to push through multiple lanes, you got to move around the map, and you've got to threaten this top lane dive. So he's going to try to slow stack this wave. He's only going to be last hitting. He's not shoving because he probably wants to threaten a potential dive. I'm not sure that they're actually going to have the right timing to do this unless Inspired rushes right up here. Because this might be moving a little bit too fast, but we'll see if he has the timing. If the next wave comes in, they could try to dive on this next wave with it fully stacked. Bwipo, though, Dematerializer, very interesting. So he took down the cannon, so it will slow this a little bit. And it's going to be a 6-game clear for Inspired, but very low on health. We'll see if he wants to actually smite Scuttle, then move top, or what the answer is going to be, because these stacked waves are always really scary as a tank.
Well, he'll just kill the Gromp normally, so he gets the heal from that, but still keep the smite ready to go. Team Liquid, they got Santorin down here.
So they're gonna go.
Vulcan standing on top of the Chomper is gonna be chain CC'd, but it's 1-for-1 as Santorin can't escape the turret.
But critically, Jinx gets the kill and Leona gets the return kill. So first blood on the Jinx with an already pretty big CS advantage. Danny and Vulcan were struggling in that bot lane. All 3 pots are gone off Danny. He's down 13 CS, and now your opponent got that first blood. Hansam is gonna be massively ahead. Yes, this will put Santorin down in the 1v1 because Inspired has just been power farming and could even potentially try to invade towards the blue. Like, they saw there's no blue on Santorin, so he is going to move up here. We'll see if they can actually get this pressure down. Vulcan on the roam as well.
Okay, Santorin recognizes these guys are after him. He wants to get away from this. Vulcan showing up is the lockdown that Inspired would need to guarantee that kill.
Jinx is coming too.
All right.
Gets hard.
Yeah, this is Obviously, at level 3, you don't have the ability to just burn down that blue buff and get away with it. So Team Liquid can get there in time. They can reinforce Santorin's position, make sure that doesn't get stolen away. I like the attempt from EG, but Team Liquid had the answer.
Yep. At the very least, they do get double scuttle, so that's something nice for them. Bjergsen, early tier. You can say he's paying some respect over to the Nidalee plus Ryze combo as well. Early Null Magic Mantle is very smart. That lane ward is big for Bwipo, spots him. But they may just try to dive this in his face anyway. Yeah, they're positioning to try to go for it. We'll see if they can actually get it.
Okay, Jojo's gonna tank up the turret here first.
They messed it up.
Nope.
Impact needed to tank, I'm pretty sure. I think that was a bit of a miscommunication. They're waiting for Inspire now, but they're gonna get him.
Nicely done there. Evil Geniuses, the solo laners coming together to take Bwipo out.
Yep, nicely done. Bwipo had not been back to base whatsoever, so he was just on that Ruby Crystal, right? So he is gonna go down, hasn't spent his TP though. So yes, he dies, but he will be able to TP back, get this experience, and he's about to be 6. So even if you kill him again, as long as you get to 6 before dying again, you're kind of in that spot where
just
it's like
ult back.
Exactly, you just ult back. It's like a pseudo TP. You use your passive to collect the farm. So Bwipo is chilling, but that was a needed kill for EG, and they do get it.
So the question that I want to pose to you here, Mr. Azael, is yes, EG has a slight lead here early on in the game, but with Renekton and Nidalee, these are not champions that scale well. As a matter of fact, I would go so far as to say they fall off a cliff. How far ahead does Evil Geniuses need to be? How good does this early game have to look for them to feel confident heading into the later stages?
I mean, I think it's a bit of a tough question to answer because they do have some scaling of their own with the Aphelios, with Ryze. They can play through sides. They can look to try to use that and flanking later. But I would say you want to be at least a couple neutral objectives up or a couple thousand gold up when you're hitting around 15-20 minutes.
All right, that's what we're going to keep our eyes on then at those checkpoints. EG shoving up the wave here in bottom. Vulcan's going to take the chance to start his recall nice and early. Is CoreJJ going to see him? Nope, he gets back in time. So now Danny's got to back all the way away because CoreJJ will not let him recall effectively.
Absolutely not. But Danny hasn't been able to find a time to base. He's actually just, not had the tempo to do so because they've been perma pushed in. He hasn't wanted to give up the wave. I'd be a little bit surprised if he actually completes that base there. But given that his jungler's top, maybe he's nervous. So yeah, he's going to hold on. You would lose a full wave if you went back. He hasn't had a buy yet though, so it is a little bit rough. Going to invade towards top side, take away this red buff. I mean, TL are for sure heavily favored in front to back. 5v5, like massively favored with the Sion and Veigar and all the scaling. But EG do have ways to play through sides, which makes it a little bit more exciting, I think, in the later stages because it's not just a guaranteed loss, because they have other ways to play. And if you can take early objectives, you buy yourself more time to split push, which is kind of a critical thing, right? If you're giving over those early dragons to TL, well, TL can force you to 5v5, but if they could pick up the first couple, I think they could be in a decent spot.
Well, Bwipo has to flash away as the spear flies towards him. If that spear connects, then Impact can flash stun on top. You can be in a lot of trouble. So Bwipo's just going to play very defensively there. Flash out nice and early, not take the damage, keep himself in a good enough state to stay in the lane. Team Liquid invading the enemy jungle. Santorin did lose his red to Inspired. He's looking to steal one back, but EG's ready to answer. Vulcan, flash Q follow. Jojopyun wants to go in. Nice use of the chompers right where he makes his entrance, and Jojo eats a lot of damage. Vulcan at 300 HP. Santorin's at 200, but he's ready for the reset. Team Liquid take that fight.
Bjergsen has ulti, he's gonna go for it.
Oh, Bjergsen picks up another one.
Flashing in with the Predator ulti there, gets the kill. This is huge for TL, out to a 1K gold lead. They're gonna get plates as well for Hansama. Things looking so good for them. Jojo has been moving around the map, but he's down 20 CS off the back of that. Bot lane, down a good 15 CS. They're gonna lose the first dragon as well. It's a disaster in the early game for EG.
Feels very, very good for Team Liquid on that one. Let's take another look at how it started, because EG were going in looking for the punish.
Yep, EG trying to find a big play here. The flash follow to come through. The Rumbar comes in, but the chompers are placed perfectly, rooting him up immediately into the unburrow there from CoreJJ, knocking up Jojopyun, pushing him out. Danny does arrive, but Bjergsen coming across was huge, and when you get that first kill in the fight, Santorin gets that, they get the reset, and there's no shot you're winning the fight from there. And then Bjergsen with the Predator flashes in. Q doesn't connect, but it doesn't even matter. The execute damage on the ulti. Oh, the Q did connect, actually. It looked like it just tagged him on the very edge. I thought it had missed in live, but well played there by Bjergsen. Early Predator, goes for the early Merc treads here. going to be high value against this team with a lot of point and click CC.
Very well done to turn that around from Team Liquid. Santorin just holding on with a little bit of HP, but the invulnerability you get when you possess the body, yeah, it's only like a fraction of a second, but that's an eternity in some of these close skirmishes in a game of League of Legends.
Absolutely, and you get the heal when you possess as well. You know, it is just so powerful. Really, any early game skirmish, it feels like as Viego, if you get one reset, it just feels like you win.
Yep.
Anything that's remotely close is no longer close because you get an entire extra rotation of those spells. And early game, that's actually such a big deal because the cooldowns are very long. The abilities, you know, have some wait time in between them.
Yeah.
You know, being able to grab that Leona, have another rotation of spells means the EG just had to retreat fully. And they're trying to keep the pressure up here, but with the kills and the assists, Santorin's not going to be too much behind Santorin. You know, he's not going to be too much behind Inspired. He is down in XP, of course, but
just now hit level 7. Yeah. Inspired just barely passed that start point there into level 8. But the thing is, it's Nidalee into Viego. Nidalee 0-0-0 at 10 minutes into the game. You do not draft this champion for an inactive early game. We've got to see Inspired start participating in these fights.
And it's 100 gold lead. Like, who cares? You know, it's nothing for the Nidalee over the Viego because of the kills, because of the assists, so you have the experience to your name, but Danny's getting put down so much, and that is the real biggest problem here for EG as TL grouping up here, looking to punish.
TL thinking about the dive, EG thinking about the counter punch. Support for support, 1-for-1. Hansama gets tagged with a spear, but Inspired already used the flash, so he can't catch up with the distance in time. Flash out from Hans to avoid a follow-up, and it'll stay 1-for-1.
1-for-1. Critically, they do protect Danny from losing even more there. It is the TP as well off Jojo, though. TL being proactive, Impact on the top side, just trying to knock down this Herald. They know they need that early injection of gold, prioritizing these Heralds, trying to get something rolling for themselves. But it's another kill over to Viego, who's now going to be actually up in gold at this point. And it is very concerning when you're comparing the itemization from the bot lane. The early Kraken Slayer is already done. Now Jojo, no flash, you're dead.
Jojo, gobble, 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 gobble. CoreJJ just spits him out underneath the turret. They give the kill over to whoever wants it, and Hans is ready to pick it up.
Yeah, Hans already has his mythic, already has his tier 2 boots, just got another kill on top. And he's up a lot of farm already after a lot of early game pressure was put down there. Santorin down multiple times towards bot lane. You know, the level 3 dive that they actually pull off onto Vulcan, where Hansama got first blood. Danny has been pressured very heavily ever since then. TL farming plates, 2K gold lead. We're at 12 minutes. That is enormous for them. It's nearly 1K up for Bjergsen. It's much more than that, actually, for Hansama. That's about a 1,500 gold lead individually.
Yeah.
Like, that is more than the total sum of their gold lead, and it's exactly where they need it for TL.
Impact, just barely gets away from that dive out of CoreJJ. Bjergsen here on the Veigar as well, 1-0-1. That Predator, that playmaking that you were telling us about there back in Champion Select is going to continue to be a thorn in the side of Evil Geniuses as we move forward. 12.5 minutes into the game, 90 seconds remain on turret plates. A 2,000 gold deficit for the Renekton Nidalee composition is incredibly concerning for EG.
Yeah, I mean, EG have got to do something, and pretty fast, I think, to really kind of flip this game around. They don't even have a soul win condition. TL got the first dragon there, so EG gonna have to find some sort of pick, find some sort of, you know, X factor to really get this game going back in their way. Because TL don't have to do anything except farm. They just have to chill, but they've done so much more than that. They've created a big advantage with a comp that heavily outscales in the 5v5 while still getting dragons.
This is a good-looking game for Team Liquid, but Evil Geniuses are looking at that second dragon themselves. It was Hextech first, it's Ocean here second. Santorin throws out that mist going around the corner there, just making EG think twice about where they walk. But TL's grouped up as 4 down here. Rift Herald going to be summoned up in the bottom lane.
Flash.
They go in on CoreJJ, throwing down the Solar Flare towards Santorin and Hansama. Core getting himself away. Nice defensive Veigar cage there to stop the pursuit of EG. But Jojo's ready for the flash follow. CoreJJ's got the thick skin. Vulcan's got no way out. EG went too far. Stolen Leona Zenith Blade. Again, Santorin is playing their champ better than they are. And Team Liquid will slaughter Evil Geniuses.
Ace and 3, 3,600 gold in their advantage, and another dragon here. Liquid are cruising in game number 5. as EG were feeling the pressure there. They try to force so heavily, but Core has so much tenacity here. Not able to lock him down nearly long enough. He has unflinching. He has Merc Treads already. The stuns just don't last nearly as long. Tower gonna go down as well. I mean, these gold advantages are just getting completely out of control. 2,300 gold up is Hansama. Like, that alone is such a problem. So they see Core go in, but look how short these stuns are. They just don't really do anything.
Yeah.
Unflinching plus Merc Treads this early on, you don't have the damage to actually burst them down. Inspire doesn't feel comfortable to go in. The cage is buying so much time. Vulcan flashes over the cage to land the stun. Jojo flashes in as well. Like, they're fully committing. But even if you kill him, you're gonna lose the fight because it's just CoreJJ. And there's an incredibly fed Jinx that's getting ignored. Then Santorin taking over the bodies, landing the combo from Leona gets them 1, landing the combo with the Renekton gets them 2. Danny falling as well. TL, it's gonna be a miracle for EG to get back into this game because TL are just running away with it. It looks like this game is theirs to lose.
EG brings Vulcan up top, but that is a level 11 Sion with 2,201 health.
Yeah.
He is not going to be an easy dive target. Santorin and CoreJJ both hanging around nearby just in case EG tries.
I mean, he even got a plate. Like, he's down 400 gold. It's nothing, right? You know, they have nothing working for them at all. They're not even really ahead in experience anymore very much as far as the jungle matchup.
Hans is up 2,300 over Danny.
Yeah, it's just insane. You know, Bwipo, sure, you put him down a little bit, but it's way more concerning that your Aphelios is down that low in gold than it is for the Sion, right? Bwipo just needs to not be getting pounded, and he is absolutely comfortable in his position in this game. The objective bounties are now active, so that is kind of a hope for EG. But TL, just keep grouping, showing up at Dragons every single time they spawn in 9 minutes.
Okay, here comes the collapse. Nope, never mind.
They get the flash, so they get that off Bjergsen, but TL, really all they have to do is just show up for Dragons, right? You know, it's 8 minutes on spawn, so, you know, kind of giving them some time to kill it. Like, in 9 minutes, they could have Soul. And when you're looking at an early game focused comp, and you give Mountain Soul over, you start to even lose hope they can find burst kills.
Well, here comes a burst kill. Santorin's found inspired, and the Nidalee has to retreat as fast as possible. Super Mega Death Rocket takes him even lower. Team Liquid not quite being able to catch up and finish the kill, but they chase the EG jungler away.
Yeah, but it's just a trade of flashes there. Impact trying to get aggressive here on Bwipo. But if you use that stun early, you don't have the empowered stun to actually break the shield. He can actually just lose
Bwipo's
this.
just whooping him.
He's got no ult. He can flash ult. He can flash ult and passes if he wants to. Oh my
God, he didn't even need to. Somebody call LS. What does LS think right now? I gotta know. Because this Renekton has not worked out in game number 5.
No, I mean, there's a lot more problems than the Renekton, though, for EG. They got destroyed on the bottom side. And Nidalee Renekton not getting nearly enough value. Bwipo did die once, but he gets the tower, he gets a solo kill. And to me, that's just them pushing way too hard, trying to get something back. Impact was going for that fight without even having ulti, as Bwipo should just be able to walk it out. I mean, he has his ulti, he's chilling.
He doesn't care, dude. He's like, all right, Nidalee, go away.
But that to me is just like, Impact is like, we have lost this game unless I make something happen. And you overforce, and you look a little bit silly doing it, right? Because it's such a low percentage play. I don't think he thinks he's gonna get that solo kill without ulti, but
no, now Evil Geniuses are, man, it's going from bad to worse. Vulcan's about to give another one over. Gets away thanks to the Blast Cone. Super Mega Death Rocket only going to hit Impact, so Vulcan's still alive. Nope! How many licks to the center of a Vulcan pop? Answers 1. CoreJJ gets some 2, 1, and 6 here on the Kench.
Yeah, Bwipo down to that bot side now looking for Jojo. Fancies himself another fight, but Jojo will just walk away with the phase rush potentially. Oh, no, excuse me, his spellbook. Back over to the Herald though. TL gonna grab another objective, and mid lane is low enough health that they could actually crack that last tier 1 with that. 40 seconds here until drag. No shot that EG really has the tools to fight for it, so it's you're hoping to get gold through sides, you're hoping to make something happen. It's just a tough situation. You know, Bwipo is so tanky at this point in the game. When you use the early stun, you don't have the empowered stun to actually break through the shield, so the stun expires, pops the shield immediately, and just the base damages from Sion, plus the return damage there from the Bramble. Is it the cannon that kills him, or what actually kills him?
I think he's still burning to the Immolate, the DOT from Sunfire Aegis.
He is. He died to the Sunfire Aegis there. Nicely played by Bwipo. Yeah, Bwipo really does. Every time something happens around Bwipo, Just go full screen on the player cam.
If y'all are ever having a bad day, just watch Bwipo react to top lane 1v1.
Bwipo reacting to things. That'd be a good TV show. I'd watch that.
I could watch that all day.
Yeah.
Always entertaining. And Team Liquid, 6,000 gold up. Soul point at 19 minutes. Short of somebody unplugging their computers, I don't know how Team Liquid loses this one.
Yep.
They have had an incredible performance here in Game 5.
Yeah, they've just been absolutely dominant. Game 1, Game 5 were all TL all the time. The middle of this series, very competitive. EG trying to make something happen, but when you're fishing for Kench, it's just not going to work, man.
They didn't bring the right bait. I don't know. Kench ain't biting today unless he's biting your head off. 2-1-6 still here for the support on Team Liquid. Rift Herald summoned up. They'll take the tier 2 turret here in mid, expand that gold lead. Some of it's going to come back their way as Impact claims the tier 1 turret in the top lane, but it is the first turret claimed by EG the whole game, and Team Liquid is marching into the enemy base. You don't normally see these turrets break until Baron, but it's already gone. Santorin's under a little bit of pressure, but CoreJJ gets him away to safety. Vulcan's gonna be killed first. 1-for-1 trade as Bjergsen dies. Impact chasing TL away, but Bwipo's joined the fight now. They're ready to put the damage right back onto the enemy mid laner. Impact trying to disengage as CoreJJ finds Danny here with a thick skin, able to keep him alive. Impact finally takes him out as Bwipo continues the push. Danny's gonna die there to the giant Sion. Inspired's ready to rejoin. Bwipo's left to likely die. He will. Won't get anything back with a dead body. Evil geniuses at least hold on. It'll be 2 for 2. 2 for 3, excuse me. Bwipo's dead body still rampaging.
Yeah, they get a couple kills there, but not gonna mean that much in the big picture here, as they're just barely holding on. They pull the trigger on this TP flank. I mean, this Herald, this push, they got mid lane tier 1, tier 2. They almost got the tier 3 as well. So Renekton goes for the base, buys up. They look for the TP play. The Veigar cage is so effective in these situations, trying to zone them off of their own tower. Vulcan goes forward, but he just gets burst out almost immediately. Hans in the backline is stunned up, and a good bit of damage comes through there from Impact, but no one can get back to actually finish him off. They needed Inspired or someone to get back there, but Inspired had no flash critically, and even though he connects on that spear, not able to close the gap to get in onto Hans Sama. So yes, Danny does fall. They return the kill back onto Bwipo, but it's feeling like too little too late here for EG, as there's only a couple minutes until this next dragon, and it feels like that has to be the last stand. But you've been so outscaled. Bjergsen here is likely going to have death cap prior to that fight, you have to assume. As Bjergsen's already at 400 AP, he's got 207 from his passive. So when
5 blasting wands for free.
Yep, you cash in big time when you get the death cap, because you multiply all the passive AP plus the AP that you've already purchased. So assuming he can get that extra 800 or so gold he needs in the next 2 minutes, which I assume he can.
I think he'll be just fine.
Yeah, then it's going to be really, really tough. Hans is already on 3. Like, you compare the AD carry itemization, and it gets pretty grim here, you know, for EG. IE's already done. That's just rough.
And now Team Liquid's going to continue their pushing. They are not going to wait around. They are not going to say, all right, let's just play for the Drake fight. They're going to get everything they can until then. That is their 7th turret taken this game. All tier 1s, all tier 2s, and the mid lane tier 3 are off the board. And Jojo will only now acquire the 2nd turret of the game for EG.
Get a bounty, something nice for them. But TL, you know, came into this year building this roster for championship success, right? They want to get back to their winning ways, taking down titles left, right, and center. You know, bringing back Bjergsen to play with CoreJJ, one of the only players he wanted to come back and play with. Bringing in Bwipo, bringing in Hans Sama. They all do seem to be really working very well. It's a cohesive unit. And coming into playoffs, they were the heavy favorites after Cloud9 had dropped some games, you know, down to the later weeks. It was about TL. People are looking at them as a big favorite. But we have seen through these first 2 LCS playoff games, much more than just C9 and TL can compete.
Yeah.
EG pushing TL to 5, 100 Thieves obviously stomping Cloud9.
Oh,
we know there are a lot of teams that they're going to have to watch out for. And it's been really exciting to watch this TL roster coming together. We'll see if they can close this one out and move on for that matchup against 100 Thieves, which I think is going to be a lot harder to predict than people would have expected.
Well, Team Liquid has 25 seconds until that Drake appears, until that soul spawns. Bwipo's going in. He's in the middle of everybody, but he don't even care. Leona ulti comes down. Team Liquid waiting for their moment. Bwipo has to flash away. Evil Geniuses, they almost kill him, but almost is not enough. He has his teleport to be able to rejoin the fight, but he needs to be able to recall. Inspired with a spear onto Hans, tries to get a little bit more.
The recall.
Rocket Belt stops recall. That's going to be important. Means Bwipo cannot heal and return to the battle yet. EG may have just stopped Soul.
But TL are going to Baron. They're actually going to try to force them off of this. Will EG leave one person on Dragon? No. EG even pulls off. They're going to go 5-man back towards Baron here. If you could get a kill at Baron, Ace TL take Baron, maybe that's a way back in, but it's going to be so hard to find it. TL turning.
I love the call from TL. Make EG come to them again. If at first you don't succeed, run it right on back. Impact tries to get away. However, another good cage from Bjergsen just makes these fights impossible to navigate for the Geniuses.
Really smart stuff there from TL, forcing EG off the Dragon. And now the Dragon could be there. So we'll see if they actually feel like they have the health to do it. They're going back into the pit. I mean, I think he blast-coned in. I saw the little animation. Yeah, they were just right back onto the Baron. Inspired is coming over here, so they are leaving a couple people to take down the Dragon on the other side, but I don't think Inspired can get in. This is just gone, and TL gonna grab the Baron here for themselves.
No way.
Oh,
okay. Oh, that was way too close.
If that's still Soul, that's an FF.
I was gonna say, yeah, I was about to say, if that steals it, /FF. I know you're not supposed to do it in pro games, but every rule has its exceptions. Yeah, there's sometimes, man, sometimes. Team Liquid misses out on the Mountain Soul, but it's A-okay when you can trade it away for a Baron. Considering the enemy base is already broken open there in the mid lane, Team Liquid, if they want to death ball down mid and say, all right, come stop us, it's totally within the realm of reality to do that for them.
Yeah, absolutely. They're going to be pushing out sides. It looks like they want to play 1-4, move between mid and bot, control the enemy jungle here, deny vision. You can see Vulcan's trying to fight for some wards to try to keep eyes on TL's movements. Bwipo, though, going to be pushing this out. Nothing that Impact can really get done there, as Bwipo even going towards Titanic Hydra, so he's actually going a more aggressive build. This is a build where you get so much bonus HP. The splash off Titanic is actually really, really powerful for Sion. It's one of those things that really sometimes people underestimate your damage, and it can be quite surprising.
And Bwipo is not afraid to jump into the middle and just make sure he's damaging everybody.
So
he doesn't care if he dies.
This is the last fight for EG. They're going to go for a flank here from Impact, but if TL spot him, they still haven't seen him. So he actually could get into the pixel brush and then surprise them potentially. This is their last chance. Can they get it?
There it is! Vulcan's decided to go in, and Impact's coming around from behind. Vulcan's going to be taken low. Impact finally makes his way into the melee, and Impact kills Bjergsen. Evil Geniuses have already lost their bottom lane, but they've killed multiple players from Team Liquid. Santorin tries to get away. Can he get the reset? Not quite. Inspired's taken low, but he won't die. Bwipo can't get him. Inspired's hopping away. Triple kill back over to Impact. EG holds on.
Impact with the deep flank. They're avoiding vision was so intelligent. Really, really well played. The engage comes through from EG. They're just not getting the kills where they need them, though. They need Danny to be relevant here. He's so far behind Hansama, who's closer to 4 items than Danny is to 3. But it's a big play here. Impact backing off and just played so intelligently around vision, kind of anticipating where it would be. He waits and he waits and he waits, and then he's anticipating that the ward actually saw it get placed in that brush there. So he just hugs the very bottom, waiting for the minions to go past. You can see where the minions are based on the mirroring on the minimap. So he knows that it's a safe path, hugs the bottom the whole way through. They have no idea that he's there, and then surprise, in comes Impact into the middle of the team. Multi-man Q, multi-man Gore Drinker. The Devourer was there from Core on Hans, but everyone from EG is on top of you. There's no escape. Hans goes down. They pick up a lot of bounties, so they do get some much-needed gold for their team, but none of it is on Danny, and he is really hurting in this game.
Evil Geniuses somehow hold on with that awesome play from Impact. It's still a very tall order to come out of this game with a win. But honestly, it was a tall order to survive that push from Team Liquid.
Absolutely. I mean, they're getting a little bit of hope off of that. If TL wins that fight, the game ends, the Nexus explodes. If EG win that fight, they get another chance to try to pull off another miracle. And that's what it's really going to take, is multiple one fights in a row. Can Impact find that sort of an angle again? It'll be really tough to do it, because it's going to be about this dragon fight here. 130, they can force your hand once again, take the 5v5.
And the important thing is, Impact didn't have to use his teleport to get that flank. Normally those type of flanks only come from a teleport ward, right?
Yeah.
That proper setup. But Impact at least has that to try to work a miracle here again.
But here's the problem. Where's the furthest deep ward? It's here. That's it. They have these wards. Those are not TP flanking wards. They have no vision on the map because they are being constantly pinned in by TL, who has done such a good job, of having multiple sweepers. You look at all the pinks in inventory right now. They're holding on to 4. They already have multiple in the enemy jungle. They are trying to eliminate any sort of opportunity for Impact to flank, because he does need to flank. You cannot walk straight through the Sion and have a successful team fight here on the EG side.
Evil geniuses. They've got 35 seconds
4
until the
items.
Soul
Bronze.
Drake spawns again. Han Sama with a Bloodthirster as item number 4. Just needing to stay alive. Drain tank out any sort of damage that might find its way onto him.
Yeah.
Danny still without his Infinity Edge.
I mean, you've got to kill Hans or you have no shot. He has got to be one of the first people to die early on in this fight, or the DPS will simply be too high for EG to really sustain. They're losing mid prio here. It is an open and hip mid, so they can kind of just push this up and let the minions do their work, put that pressure on. It's looking like it's front to back, and that bodes well for TL. Impact and Inspired trying to come from the side, but they're
Jojo's
caged.
already been caught out here a little bit. Han Sama takes a little bit of damage, but Inspired has to go into the stasis nice and early. Team Liquid continuing to move forward. Bwipo finds a knock-up 1-2, and Santorin's ready to go in for his first reset. Danny's first to die. Impact tries to find Han Sama, but try as he might, Team Liquid will crush Evil Geniuses.
TL have done it. The TPs are coming in. They're looking for the end, pushing for their matchup with 100 Thieves.
Team Liquid got pushed to 5 games by EG. Game number 4 was absolute chaos against the marksman comp, but in game number 5, TL reigns supreme. They'll get the ace. The last kill goes over to Bjergsen. Danny respawns in a moment, but a moment is a bit too long. Nexus turret's gone. Team Liquid takes the win and moves on in the winner's bracket.
What an incredible series we were treated to today. TL do clinch it, but EG pushed them to the brink. So much more competitive than people had thought coming into it. TL, though, showing their class in the final game here, drafting for the late game 5v5, withstanding the early push, withstanding the early pressure from this Renekton Nidalee. They got what they needed to get done. Han Sama created massive advantages with the pressure that Santorin was bringing down there, with the pressure that Bjergsen was bringing down there. Their cross-map play was so good. And rightfully taking their bow. Very well played series here from TL.